Guys, welcome back. Oh my, I haven't recorded in a while. How are you doing? I was really nervous because I was like, I don't know what to record. It's been like 3 weeks. I've been thinking about it. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I think I've covered everything 10 times over. There's nothing to do. And then something in me, or I think I opened up Ableton and it looked like the name changed or something. Then I was like, something doesn't look right here. And then I saw that it was the brand new Ableton 11.3. So if you want to follow along with this and use the brand new Ableton synthesizer Drift, which everyone has, and in fact, I wonder if they made any other changes here. So yeah, I have my Ableton set on automatic updates. It's like the only thing I have that I leave the automatic updates on. And so now we have Drift. So take a look at Drift. Everyone has Drift. Everyone. So it doesn't matter what version of Ableton you have, you now have it. And just to let you know, I know I've covered this ad nauseum. There's Ableton Live Intro, Ableton Live Standard, and Ableton Live Suite in order to have everything and pretty much follow along with any Ableton tutorial on YouTube. You need to have Suite, but there are people who don't. And it's like $100 to get Ableton Live Intro, and all they give you is Sampler, which is, all they give you is Simpler, which is a simple sampler device. And then they give you Drum Rack, which is like where you would drag samples and, make drums. There's no synthesizer. You don't get any synthesizer with Intro, but now you do. So we're gonna use Drift a lot because everyone has it. So congratulations. If you don't have it, update to 11.3, you will have it. And just so you guys know, I've never used Drift, okay? I haven't watched any videos on it. I don't want to watch videos on it. Maybe I will, probably not. It's very hard for me to watch Ableton Live tutorials. It has to be someone I know that I've watched in the past that I know is like really good. So I've never used this before, and I go through on this channel. If you, by the way, smash a like, subscribe. If you have been with me on this journey, sound design is really the focus here, and that's kind of all that I do with Ableton nowadays. I don't really make music, really. I mostly just like design sounds and see if I can like master Ableton and then teach you guys, my small little audience that I much love. But when I teach you sound design, you guys already know that I've used all the synthesizers before. So no matter how I want to teach it or what I want to say about it, and I make good sounding sounds and stuff, how well does this guy really know synthesizer theory? Does he practice what he preaches? Well, I've never used this before, but I've been telling you guys whenever we design sounds, there's a few key things that you need to do or be aware of, and then you can learn anything, whether it's some plugin some like synth plugin, or just using any of Ableton's synths. So let's see if I can practice what I preach. I've never even looked at it. Yes, it's sitting on the screen right now. I've never looked at it before, okay? Like right now I'm looking into the camera. I'm not looking at Ableton, and I'm scared. What if I screw up? I won't, because, well, let's see. First things first, guys, let's jump in. If you want to support this show, because I feel like I'm running out of ideas, and if I straight up have nothing to cover, I've covered everything. I mean, I don't think I would ever stop making these. at least like once a month, just because I like to like go on and talk, and I feel like at least if some people like it, I'll still keep doing, but I'll probably do it with less frequency. So buy an NFT to support the show. There's very cheap NFTs, and then if you really want to support, there's a little bit more expensive NFTs, and it's the thumbnails, those beautiful thumbnails that I make. That's my art, and so you're supporting the SDHO. You're making me excited to make more, and it's also supporting an artist. So you're supporting a teacher, an artist. Obviously, if you don't have anything, if you don't have a lot of anything to contribute, because you can't, that's fine. That's fine. Watch all of these, enjoy yourself, and let's all get into drift. Let's learn it together. Let's brainstorm together, and let's see if I can practice what I preach, because I've never used this before. And I think we're gonna fall in love, and let's fall in love with Ableton Drift. First things first, we need to find out where our volume envelope is. Because in theory, if we were to open up a synthesizer and the volume envelope was closed, we wouldn't have any sound. So it doesn't matter what knob you turn, it doesn't matter what you do, if for some weird spooky dooky reason the volume envelope was and you couldn't figure out why nothing was coming out, well, then that would kind of be the thing you would need to find out. So right now, I'm not even gonna do anything. I'm just gonna push a button and see if we even get a sound. Let's see. Immediately, I feel like I'm hearing a sine wave and a saw wave, and yes, we are. So where's this volume envelope? Well, let's just take a look here. Do you guys see an envelope anywhere? Here. So let's turn this down. Now notice when I'm turning it down, this number 1 up here was moving. So Command Z. Let's move it down and see if this indeed is controlling our volume. It is. We found our volume envelope. Can you imagine if you like opened up, like can you imagine if the settings were like this? And because for whatever reason, and you were like, man, I'm so excited about this drift synthesizer. Let's check this shit out of the box. Get it to me. Das shit. Something wrong. The Ableton Drift broke me computer. What? So meaning like you could change all of this dumbass crap. It wouldn't matter. Ooh, look, it updated. Let's click into here. See if it updates back. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Oh, what is this number 2 down here? A second envelope. Go back to 1. This is our volume. Let's play with this right now. Got it. I like to leave the sustain all the way up because I like sounds that just play forever. Like if I just draw on a fat, thick MIDI note that like goes on for like 1,000,000 bars, I want to know that if I put the most delicious, warm, meditative, beautiful sound, I want it to play forever. So I'm gonna leave this up. Normally I like to like have it not be completely up, maybe like 98. Let's give it a little bit of an attack, a good healthy attack. So it fades in. I need more release. Let's jack up the release. So up here, this is our envelope for volume. Now, if you were to ask me, how would I approach drift? What does it do? What sort of synthesis does it do? Why is it called drift? What do I need to know? Well, if you had to ask me, I would say this is really almost like the brother or sister, the upgraded version of analog. Not upgraded. Someone's gonna say it's not an upgrade, meaning like it's a brand new Ableton Live synth, and it's kind of like analog in that I believe this is mostly subtractive synthesis. And why would they call it drift? They're calling it drift because analog synthesizers, especially ones from a long time ago, before there was anything as digital samplers and software synthesizers, soft synths that, basically just computer version synthesizers, hence software synth. So have you heard soft synth? And these older synthesizers that were subtractive synthesizers, which really means it was like basic oscillators like these, although, looks, we got some interesting ones. They used to drift. In fact, I should probably let you know what that actually is in analog, so I can give you an idea. We're taking it slow. If you want a quicker tutorial of this, then go find it. So take a look. I'm gonna drag analog over here, over here. I'm gonna knock the octave down. I wanna inactivate oscillator 2, and I want it to be the same. And if I click a note, I'm gonna lower the filter frequency just so it's not super bright. Okay. Now, this drifting sound happens when you take like two oscillators that are the same and you slowly like detune them. Now, I don't know if this is why they had that drifting sound back in the day with the older analog synthesizers, but this is what it sounds like. Listen to it as I play it, and then I'm gonna move one of the detunes. It doesn't matter which one it is, and listen to how nice it sounds. That's what's called like synthesizer drift. Boring, static. Now watch. Sounds wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Now, that kind of drift like that is what happened on these analog synthesizers. Now, what I just did with analog right there, which is why they call it analog, because it's meant to mimic an old analog synthesizer, I don't believe that's why those old synthesizers made a drift. So something tells me this synth drift is gonna have a lot of that drift, but I wanted you to know what that drift is because we tell stories on this channel. We learn this stuff on this channel. We are changing the world with Ableton. All right, so let's get back. Boy, they should really fly me out and cater me like I'm some old weird king in the Renaissance or something. Wow, what the hell did I just say? I don't know, I blacked out for a second. So here's the thing, guys. The reason why was, unlike these synthesizer and digital synthesizers that are like perfect, zeros and ones, those old ones were made with like voltages of electricity, and they wouldn't normally, if you were like play 100 hertz, it wouldn't play like perfect 100 hertz. It might move a little bit, but when there's that movement, it makes it feel more real. You know what I mean? Like, there's people who probably think synthesizers are like dirty because they're like, I want to take my guitar, I want to plug it in, and then I want to plug it into an amplifier, and I want to turn it up and feel the voltages, man, and I want to hear the feedback, man. Sorry, I'm trying to put on a show for you guys because I love you, I care about you, and that's the thing is those analog synthesizers did that. So let's see what kind of drift we can get. Okay, so right now we know where the volume envelope is. So the next thing would be, come on guys, can you guess it? What would be the next most important thing to know where it is? Well, let's hit a note. Oh no. Let's hit a note. I'm gonna go to MIDI effects, drop a pitch, and I'm gonna shift it down. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Audio effects, I have to get a limiter on here, because that's what I do. and it's bright. When you're doing subtractive synthesis, it's bright. So you can have all the frequencies, all the harmonics, I should say, and we want to know where the filter is. Here's the filter. Now, of course, you can move it in here. It's releasing way too much. And I need to give it some attack because it's making a click, and I don't like that click. I feel like I'm going mental. I don't know. I feel like something is happening and I'm like kind of perplexed. Let's go back to here. I feel like there's like a little delay when I'm clicking a button and I'm like, is that in my head? I don't know. Sorry about that, guys. Okie dokie. So we've got our filter frequency here. Doesn't really matter where I put that because when I'm playing my laptop keyboard, I only have like, I guess 14 buttons I can push on here. So I don't really care what notes I'm playing. I just know what patterns they are on there to like make minor and major chords and seventh chords and whatnot. So let's move forward. So we know where the volume is. We know where the filter is. I don't know. What's one of the next big things you might want to know? Well, you might want to put a filter of envelope on the filter. So like, I don't know, here's this number 2 right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn sustain all the way down. I don't know, maybe leave it here. And I want to, I guess you could say, put this envelope to this filter. How do I do that? Is this it? You would think I would have to like route it. So if this is the filter, why am I, what is this stupid thing right here? If enabled, envelope 2 functions as a cyclical envelope. Yeah, no thank you. So how do I route this? This filter, why is there not a router? Oh my God, am I gonna have to quit the video? What if this is like the last? Oh my God, guys. What if this is like the last one I do? This is so ridiculous. I don't know. This is key. So here, let's do this. I want it to go, you know, your traditional zoop, right? So like you have to like have this filter right here. Oh my God, I might have to sign off. Frequency modulation. Envelope 2. Now if I turn this up and it works, I'm not deleting this video. We were saved. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. That's pretty unique. But why would I want to route filter? So envelope 1 is always going and flowing, just like any volume envelope. You don't have to route things. The volume envelope in any synth, especially in Ableton, maybe not in other ones, although who knows, you always want to, it's just always going to be on, right? And so if you want, because like sometimes you do want that. Sometimes you want the volume contour, the volume envelope, and the filter envelope, the contour of the filter, opening and closing, to be the same. So like you could do that route to envelope 1, but we had to go to envelope 2 because like right now, for instance, if I put up this attack, now listen to what it does. I'm going to bring out the decay a little bit. Give it some more release for all the release heads out there. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Let's recap. Let's regroup. And we didn't even get to the oscillators yet. By the way, like I said, I've never done this before, but I wanted to be of the principles because I've been sharing these principles and so many of you could have called me out and said, hey, Gemini, which by the way, I don't call myself Gemini. I created this channel like literally a million years ago. I think I created in like 2008 or 2010. I only think YouTube's been around since like 2006 maybe. I don't know. That's how old I am. What have we done so far? Well, we've got this really cool sound. First, we said, where's the volume envelope? Right here. Notice how this thing changed because we were in envelope 2. Envelope 1, route it to the volume. If you want to route anything else to the volume, you could do that. If you wanted to route it to this envelope, you would just go to envelope 1 and you could route the filter there. But I wanted our separate one for envelope 2. It's different. Next thing you would want to know is, well, if you had an idea that this was probably a subtractive synthesizer, although you would find that out eventually, you would probably think, well, where the hell is the filter? It's right here. The next thing you might probably think is, well, where's the envelope? Well, we didn't know, and I almost had to cancel the show, okay? But I didn't, and I would have never canceled the show. In a worst case scenario, I would have restarted, but I wouldn't have done that because if I didn't know how to figure out how to do this, I didn't know that you had to go in here, find this little stupid thing, put it to envelope 2, and then start routing it to get our, whoa. So if you didn't want that, you would take away the attack, and then you would have. And again, you can always just, take this little bar and move it like that. Wonderful. So now we know where the volume envelope is. We now know where the filter frequency is. We know how to route an envelope of our choosing. Let's say envelope 2 to it. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Now, the next question you might ask is, okay, so we got that down. I know we're probably going to want to know where the LFO is, but there's something more important. What oscillator is it? What sort of oscillator are we using? Because if we didn't have any oscillators, you wouldn't hear any sound at all. There would be no point of a volume envelope. There would be no point of a filter. There would be no point of a filter envelope because you wouldn't have any sound. So what sort of oscillator do we have? Well, it looks like we have 2 oscillators. It looks like we have an oscillator 1, which is on a saw wave. Sometimes it's called sawtooth wave. Maybe I might start calling it sawtooth wave more because sawtooth wave is the official name. And who even knows that? Everyone knows saw wave, sawtooth. Why tooth? Someone might know exactly why tooth needs to be in there, but just the fact that it's sawtooth, I don't know. I just think it just makes it more interesting or something. I don't know. Call it what you want. Wonderful. So I'm going to come over here to oscillator 2. Ooh, different options. Sine wave, triangle wave, combination of sine wave and triangle wave, sawtooth wave, because we're calling it sawtooth now, square wave, although it's precisely pulse wave. If you knew that it was pulse wave, smash a like, and then go to the comments and say, I just want you to know I smushed a like and I knew that it was a pulse wave. And I'd say kudos to you. But let's turn it off. How would you turn off oscillator 2? Is there a turn off button? Well, yes, there is. But if you didn't want to turn it off, you could just lower the volume. Oh, sweet soosily moosily. Look at this change down here. Do you see it? This is what this is the cycle of what our waveform looks like. Let's turn it off. Notice how it's so much more sawtooth wavy. Let's hit a note. Let's see how it changes. Let's bring it back. Command Z. Let's bring it back, and let's click a button, and then we're gonna turn it off. Wow. So you actually straight up need oscillator 2 for that punch. Notice how its saw wave was giving us some bass. Meow 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 meow. Chonky, why'd you wake up and fidget when I said meow, 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 Chonky? He doesn't like cats. If I go, he like looks around. He's like, is there a cat? Oh no, he's moving. He's like, I think I hear that damn cat is back. Chonky, is that cat backy? Is Catty backy, Chonky? Oh, Chonky's so cute. He turns 6 in a couple days, and he looks just as young and cute and great as he did when he was 3 years old. You figured the art out of not aging, Chonky. You figured out puppy alchemy. My dog figured out puppy alchemy. Oh, Chonky, that's wonderful. All right, back to the show. All right, so do we want oscillate to 1? So if we did sine wave, we would get triangle wave. Ooh, I'm telling you, square waves always sound better. But what does this shape do? And if I play with shape, does it change down here? What is happening? That is what pulse width modulation does. So listen. Let's shift this down an arrow, get some more bass. That would be if we wanted to route envelope 2 to the pitch. Wonderful. I would say you could just kind of turn off oscillator 2 unless you wanted to get that punch, that sub bass. And of course, if you wanted to lower the amount of oscillator 1, I kind of like the way this sounds. Give it the more punch. Now, when this says type 1, what do you think type 2 might be? Ooh, it sounds extra watery because it's really just giving us more of a boost. It's almost like going from a low pass 12 dB to a low pass 24 dB. Liquid filter bass, liquid filter resonant bass. Wonderful, wonderful. We're basically done. I don't really think there's much else to cover. Let's just quit and let's go take a nap. Just kidding. Let's keep going, and I might even go to another synth before I sign off. So yeah, I should probably remember to do this. We got noise as well. Let's give it some noise. Wow. What is this thing right here? That's so crazy. I'm hearing it like, I'm hearing a lot of white noise when I turn this off. When I turn this on, what is it doing? It's like an aggressive, that's like switches filter processing, wow, yeah, that's pretty sick. Normally it would be like this. That sucks, because you're like, yeah, I'm hearing that and I'm hearing the white noise, but I think now it runs the white noise through the filter and just beefs it the F up. Wonderful. Anytime you can come in here and be like, oh, let's see what triangle wave sounds like. Probably won't sound as good, but whatever, we'll do it. We're dancing. I just got dumped and we're dancing. Doesn't it kind of sound like some like 80s like horror goth music? Done. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Okay, pitch mod down here. If you want the pitch to be with SDHO, put a little bit there. We don't need any of that. Let's just change things up. Let's like open up the filter. Let's just get rid of this. Let's move this up. Move it up again. So you might want to go into the LFO. Guys, I can't do inbuilt LFOs. Actually, let's see if the inbuilt LFO will do it. So I don't want to be on envelope 2, do I? I want to be on LFO. Let's see if it will apply, I don't know, this fast LFO. I want to see it doing this. If it doesn't do that, I have no need for it. But let's see if it will do it, change up the percentage of the LFO. Notice you heard it, but what you heard is this. But because we aren't seeing it, it's dead to me. You know what I mean? I don't need that. Which is why, shame on them, by the way, because like it will do that in wavetable. So like, even though it doesn't matter, I would rather just do this. So, okay, what's that? 4.52 hertz. Let's put it on 4.52 hertz. And we're in map engage. Okay, and now let's put to the filter. Lower the depth. Wonderful. And that's probably the only reason why I get any views. Cheers. Stop it. Someone in the audience said, I put a phaser flanger on there, it would sound mental. Thank you. Oh my God, please, for the love of God, stop doing that. Sorry guys, I've never lost my cool on the show before. I have to delete this stupid LFO because it's... wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Look at this drift amount. Let's see what happens when I play and then crank it up. Notice how having that noise just gives it a little bit extra whoop. So I'm not going to use LFO. Not going to use mod because I don't need to like modulate this shit with this dumbass LFO. I'd rather use my own LFO, which I don't need to use. Probably going to be using poly because that means multiple notes. Probably going to have as many voices as possible. I'm probably going to screw around with this drift. Probably get a lot of it. I want some glide. I'll probably give it some of the glide. Whoa. Oh, you've got to probably go to mono to get the legato. Hear it? But I don't get freaky like that. I don't want it. But I wanted you to know that it was there. Pitch bend range, transposition, type 2. We got it, we got it, we got it, we got it. Yeah, that's kind of it. That's kind of it. I really like how that sounds. By the way, did any of you guys finally... I know this is coming from the future, because this is like late May right now, and who knows, this might not come out till July or something because I've got these backlogged. Because you got to realize, like, when I record these, they don't just go up. I have to, like, put all of these different things into Final Cut Pro. I've got to line up the audios. I've got my screencast. I've got the camera. I've got the audio. I've got, like, you know what I mean? I got to, like, do stuff with all of that. So... it's good, it's fun, but like, I don't know when this is gonna go up. I don't know. What should we do? We made two great sounds, you know? You're either gonna have a wonderful sound where you hold down notes and it sounds beautiful. Doesn't this not sound beautiful? By the way, it sounds super beautiful because this phaser flanger is giving it that wonderful movement. We could have also done a... what did it go? Chorus. We could have done a chorus on there too, but I don't care. This sounds so good. And again, I'm gonna drop an LFO. I'm gonna have a very small depth. I'm gonna have a very little rate and just a little bit on the future. How dare you? There we go. Now notice how it took it from up to down. You can do that by putting this offset. Let's get it back up to just a little bit. Let's go to this one. Down arrow. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Hear Chunky snoring. That's a good boy. Someone said I dropped that hybrid reverb. Wonderful. I'm not done hanging out yet. I may cut all of this out, this next part. So I probably should do some sort of like a fake ending, and then maybe I'll keep going, or maybe I'll just end it here. I think I might end it here. In fact, yeah, maybe I should just end it here. So, yeah, Drift. It's pretty cool. I really like it. It sounds pretty damn good. I'm just going to delete this because I want to free it. It almost kind of reminds me of like one of the coolest devices that I know. Polly. Polly wants some cracker. Think I should get off her first. Think she wants some water. She just as bored as me. It's me. Have a dream. Who's the real? Gently. Let me take a ride. Please myself. Some Nirvana for you. How did I do? Whoa. Record enable. By the way, it makes me think of this Poly. This Poly instrument is like one of the sickest instruments. Bass is a sick instrument as well, but it's monophonic, which means only one note at a time. That's not good for me. You know I love them chords. Poly is so sick. It should be in the instruments. You know what I mean? Just like these other Max for Live devices. It's so sick. When you go to Max for Live, if you didn't know this, Poly is a must know. Granulator 2 is a must know. Don't even worry about bass unless you're a big bass head, then get into bass, but it is monophonic. Poly is, you guessed it, polyphonic. But here's the thing, oh man, it gets so nice. It gets so nice. And like no one uses this, and like it almost reminds me of Drift, in that like it's this like cool Ableton synth that came from the sky. Oh no. I'm just gonna create a good sound. I have to stop talking because I'm getting tired. Wonderful, wonderful. chorus. Inbuilt chorus. You got the A's, B's, and the C. That's it. There's nothing else to do. Hold on. Keep in mind, it sounds that good and that wonderful, and there's no devices on here. The EQ wasn't doing anything, the compressor wasn't doing anything, the limiter wasn't doing anything, nothing. Poly is amazing, drift is amazing, you're all amazing, don't sleep on the Max for live. I'm so happy that everyone in the entire universe has the drift. Let's go into audio effects and just see if for any crazy reason and not to leave you guys here, I'm gonna do my favorite thing where I click play on an audio file, put it on repitch, times it by 2. Oh no, wait. Yeah. That was great. Play with poly, play with drift, take audio, things that you made, warp them, put them on repitch, and you could just do this. Get remixes of your stuff. It'll make it longer, so just be aware of that. Turn on loop, because you're not a psychopath. Always have loop on, don't be that person. Sounds pretty good. Ooh. And that is it. Anyways, guys, do what you want. Much love.